Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways. My name's Big Sick Simpson. It's been a while, my party people, and today I'm bringing you my top 10 most reliable cars of all time. And where would a list about reliable cars be without the Mac Daddy, the OG, the Model T Ford, Henry Ford's finest hour, the original people's car, made to go everywhere, cross rivers, a little 4-cylinder, not the easiest car to drive, but made its mark. You even see a couple of museum pieces that still start up and run today. So the build quality of this pretty much 100-year-old car is unsurpassed. Then in number 9 position we got a bit of a favourite of mine, old school Volvo station wagon, the 245 Estate. Boxy, best safety figures in the 80s. Those safety figures would probably still hold up today. Bulletproof. You could arguably say Volvo's finest hour. Built to last. Built like a tank. It's a pity a lot of modern day cars aren't built to last. They're built to break, because that's how these guys make their money. Guys being manufacturers. Number 8 on the list. It's small, it's zippy, and it's very, very reliable. The Honda Jazz 1.5 liter. I know a lot of people that have never had a single issue with this vehicle. Probably the most well-built, small, compact hatchback of all time. Honda's finest hour, before they started moving their production to places like Thailand, which doesn't have the same quality inherent in the culture. You could say that the Japanese, a very perfectionist culture, has. Number 7, something for the off-roaders, the 1982 Toyota Hilux 2.4 petrol. Similar car to what we've seen on Top Gear, that they couldn't break. It just goes on and on and on and on. Probably the strongest mid-sized petrol engine ever made. They can get amazing torque and power out of just a 2.4 petrol. Beautiful engine. I've seen it been used as a fire truck on Bonnie Vale 4x4 track, grade 4, grade 5 off-road. 1.5 tons of water in the back. Sure, the back sitting down like a homesick mule on the toilet, but it still pulls it up the mountain. It's an excellent firefighting vehicle that you can overload. I wouldn't recommend it, but when push comes to shove. Number 6 on the list, a car I had the sister or the brother of, the Toyota Camry 1992 2.2 liter 4-cylinder. That engine just goes on and on. Very, very reliable. Was the most aerodynamic Toyota made to date at that time. You can see it by its sleek design. I had the 3 liter, which I got to about 200 k's, but broke a cylinder head driving a little bit too vigorously through the desert, and the radiator was a bit clogged. So I can't really blame the engine for that. It was more clogged radiator, but the belle of the ball is the 2.2 liter. Bulletproof, good for 400,000 kilometers, easy. Well, to get onto this list, you got to be good for 400,000 kilometers. That's just a minimum. Some of these cars will do over 1 million K. Next on the list, the Brute 80 series Toyota Land Cruiser 1HZ 4.2 diesel, the non-turbo version. Very, very reliable, slightly underpowered, but just goes on and on and on and on. If you don't get a 500,000 Ks out of that car, you obviously haven't looked after it properly. One of my favorites, and when this channel bangs, check out for me getting something like that. Number 4, Toyota Corolla. You can't talk about reliability without talking about the Toyota Corolla. The cornerstone of anybody's talk about reliability. I've had one, never let me down. My missus had one for 10 years. Starts every time, goes, very economical, does 6.6 liters per 100 Ks. It's just an all-around solid car. Even the new ones are still pretty good but there's more and more production coming out of India from Toyota, so I would tend to buy a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla if I was going to get that with under 150,000 Ks. Can't go wrong. Even if it's been thrashed, it'll be fine. Number 3, getting to the hot stuff now. The Honda Accord. Honda had a problem with this car back in the day, but nothing ever broke. They made nothing on maintenance costs, which is how car manufacturers make their money. They only make a percentage or two selling it to the dealers who sell it on to you, but they make their money on people buying parts. And if nothing goes wrong, then you're really only doing oil changes and spark plugs and stuff like that, which the manufacturers don't even make some of those things, so they don't get a piece of that pie. Just the dealers and their servicing. So, well, that might be a reason why Honda moved some of their production. I don't think the Accord moved there, but some of the other models moved to Thailand, and there have been some question marks about build quality in recent times. But if you get there were some troubles with the CVT gearbox, so the 2011 is the best in terms of automatic. But just to be double safe, I would go for a manual model. Number 2 on the list. It's been in the Guinness World Records before. Mercedes 240D has done over 2 million Ks, 2 million miles from a cab driver in Cairo, Egypt. It just goes on and on and on. Arguably that or the 300D, or 2 of the strongest diesels ever made. Definitely the 2 strongest Mercedes diesels ever made. So that's number 2 on the list, the 240D. Hats off to that cab driver in Egypt. You must have really been looking after that baby to get 2 million Ks, and it's resting peacefully now in the Mercedes Museum, I believe. Number 1 on the list, clocking over 3 million miles, the Volvo 1800 S2-door, owned by a gentleman in America, I believe, who's been traveling around to car shows for many decades. Gets 100,000 Ks a year. Only have to change the clutch after 400,000 Ks apparently. So who would have thought it? If you look at Volvos today, Range Rovers and Volvos are the cars I see on the back of flatbeds the most. But in the old days, we look at there was 2 Volvos on the top 10 reliability, on my top 10 reliability list. So it really shows you that a lot of these European companies push too much on the electronic side and don't just focus on keeping good, reliable cars. Don't change too much every year. If it ain't broke, there's nothing to fix. Sometimes you can get an old car, maintain it, and it'll still carry on going until maybe even longer than you will. More to come on Africa Sideways. Got a couple of cars coming to review. I've currently got the new Ford Figo up for review this week. I'm pleasantly surprised. Got nice clearance. They haven't put low profile tyres on. Nice car. Well done, Ford. Looking forward to reviewing it. Then we're getting something a little bit, well, actually very racy. Golf GTI R 4-wheel drive, 250 plus kilometers an hour. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of fun. And the bell of the ball to finish off the new Ranger Wild Track. Going to see how this new 2-liter twin turbo engine goes. Going to get it off-road. So stay tuned, subscribe, like. If you got some cash, Patreon, please. Peace.